Today I want to handicap race 2 from Indiana Grand and just show you a quick way using Optix 2020 to kind of like just try to identify some contenders or a false favorite. In this case, I'm going to look at the number 5 horse, Destined for Gold. And I'm going to look at him. You see him I'm hovering over his name here. You see it turn blue, and you can see where his plot is. He's just below the 3 and 8, and typically that's not such a terrible position. However, you know, he's a horse that likes to be forwardly placed. As you can see, he's a presser. He's only had 2 starts, so wouldn't be too harsh on him on that. But it looks like a shot that you know, he's going to have to be pressing 2 horses that are faster than him to the second call. So both those horses kind of are projected to come back. You can see the size of their circles, right? So he might be in a good spot, or there might be a horse that can pick him up that maybe sit just off this first flight. And that might be, you know, the number 2 or the number 7 seem the most likely to be next in line. And just want to take a look at, first of all, quad percentages to see from a plot perspective for this track surface distance if someone might have an edge. You can see the 1 and the 1A don't, so that's quadrant 4. I guess it's not so good at Indiana, going the 5.5 furlongs. Let's look at, look like the 2 and the 7 have the best plot, highest plot percentage for both standard and surface and distance, so they might have an edge. So that kind of gives more credence to the fact that those are the horses that might be in position. Seems like where they're plotting matches that. So let's just jump into the 2 and look at him a little bit. It looks like he's kind of progressed his last 3 starts, both from a I'm going to blow this up a little bit, zoom in on this one a little bit so we can see. So it looks like he's improved both from a Optix speed figure and also Optix notes grade. It's kind of a good sign. He made a move in his previous start. He is, if you look at the alerts, and I'm just going to hover over it here so you can see, but he's improved his trip grade over the last 30 days. That's a good sign in his, and again, just tells us, you know, what I just said. You know, the Optix speed figures improved 3 races in a row. So he looks like a progressive, no big jump, just, you know, basically gradual from the last race to this race. So, you know, this horse, you know, we might consider a contender, especially at 8-1 if you get anywhere near that. And then the other one that was interesting was the number 7, so I'm going to go to him. He's had kind of wide trips in his last 2, as you can see from Optix Notes keywords. Wide. He had a C+ in both those races. And the race before, he was making a move and in a better than looked effort. He doesn't change leads. So he's 5.5 furlongs. You can see in both these horses, they both have race speed figures that fit today's range too. So that's another thing you want to look for. The other thing I want to kind of look for is from a class perspective, do these horses match up? And again, I'm looking for anything kind of above the 0. So it looks like the number 2 has most of the bars, if not all the bars above the 0, and the 7 seems to have 3 bars above the 0. So to me, those 2 are, you know, there's no negative in that. They're both passes, I think, from a class perspective. So, you know, just kind of a quick handicapping, potential for the favorite to get caught up in maybe a hot early pace, and leave it for maybe the 2 and the 7 sitting right off of it. Okay? Just some quick handicapping. You know, I suggest you kind of dig into this a little bit more, but, you know, at least I got an assessment of the race just using the OptixPLOT platform here.